Had I listened, I would not be standing right here in my maintenance on the GLP-1 medication Zepbound. Had I listened, I would not be in the new body or be at the best version of myself had I listened to people telling me at 170 pounds that you don't need to lose any more weight. That picture that y'all saw on my thumbnail, that was around end of April of 2023. I was on my 3rd month of Wegovy. And as you can see, my body was a little bit thicker. There was some inflammation. There was some swelling in there because my feet would swell, my hands would swell and everything. And I'm sure some of that had to do with what I ate. But even losing 20 pounds, my body would still swell up, hands and feet. I did end up losing more inches. I would say I went into a body recomp phase during my 9-month break. And I'll show you a picture here that I did look a little bit more slimmer. And this was me of day 1 of taking Zepbound in 2024. And this is me now. But even before I had lost the 20 pounds, people had told me I did not need to lose weight. And I know I needed to lose weight. So I'm going to tell you how this whole GLP-1 even came into my life, because it was something that I did pray for. And I just want to share that part with you because I know that I have not really shared anything of that sort on a deeper level is what I'm saying. So if it's in a dark area, I'm sorry, because I'm outside, of course. Hopefully the wind is not bothering. But I think it was 2019. If I have the picture of it, I'll take a picture of the letter that I had. It was a prayer letter. So 2019, Saturday, I was in church and we did like a prayer thing. And one of the prayer leaders said, when you go home, I want you to write down 25 things that you want God to do for you. Now, me, I wrote down my 25 things, but I put myself at the end because I grew up hearing that, you know, if when you're going through things, the right thing to do is to pray and do for others, and then God will soon take care of your problems. So that's what I grew up hearing, and that's what I applied in my life. So one of my prayer lists was to lose weight. I originally put 50 pounds down, but then I said, no, let me just say 40 to 50 because I didn't believe I can drop 50 pounds. And I knew at that time 50 pounds for me would have been maybe around 150 or 160 at that time. But anywho, I did it. And I remember saying to God, I don't know how I'm going to drop this weight, but whatever that you have for me, Lord, I want to drop the 50 pounds. And I've tried everything under the sun, as far as like these weight loss hacks and diets of the A through Z. I've even tried It Works, and a lot of people don't even know what It Works is because it's not advertised at all on TV. It is by word of mouth, and it's supposed to be Christian based, but it's more of a pyramid type of thing. But anywho, long story short, GLP-1 came into my life, and I got on Wegovy and then Zepbound. But I just wanted to point out that had I listened to people, I wouldn't be where I am at right now. And for the simple fact that I put that in my prayer request, I knew that one day God was going to give me a solution to the problem that I was having. I knew God would see my way through, but I didn't know how long it was going to take, what it was going to be. And I always thought that it was going to be something that I already knew of. I did not know it was going to be a newly created invention Now, granted, Ozempic has been around a long time, but that is for, at the time, I believe it was for diabetics, right? You can't have a duplicate medication with the same name and then say it is for weight loss. You have to give weight loss its own name. So instead of saying Mounjaro number 2 or something, or another Mounjaro, you have to call it Zepbound. Hopefully that made sense. But I just wanted to say, back to the prayer thing, the fact that I put myself last is because I was not confident that something was going to, I was not going to get a resolution. It was just more like, well, if it happens, it happens. It's in my prayer list, right? But that's not how I see myself right now. Oh, this wind. Sorry. I see myself currently as, for one, I'm more confident than where I used to be. 2, I am no longer putting myself last on the list. I have to put myself first. The reason why I need to put myself first is because how can I take care of anybody if I can't take care of myself? So putting myself first means after God. So God would be first. I should say God will be the head, the superior, the one that's the overseer, and then myself. Instead, I was doing God, family, friends, work, everything else, and then I was putting myself at the end. And then, but with me being at the end, I didn't realize how that was causing a lot of issues, with a lot of internal issues. Because when you're putting yourself, well, for me, I can only speak on my experience, but when I was putting myself last came with depression. It came with confusion. It came with, when is it my turn? It came with, I'm seeing everybody else getting blessed, but what about me? Even though I said earlier that when you pray for other people, God will, bless you. But it still kind of hurt a little bit, because it's like I'm last on the list. So not anymore. I refuse to be last on the list. And then I find myself wanting to X out all the distractions and everything that was getting in the way, because I deserve to be first. The reason why I deserve to be first is because how can I take care of the family? How can I take care of, my work and everything else that goes along with just being an adult if I'm not taking care of self first? So I need to be as close to God as possible. So I need to be first. And it may sound a little selfish, but it's true. It is very true. Why do I need to be... Oh, I'm getting dark because the sun. But it's so true, and I'm just so happy that I chose myself first. I'm so happy that I am in my new body, because look at me. This is the new version of me. Just imagine if I would have listened to everybody else. Just imagine if I would have just said, you know what, this GLP-1, forget it. I already tried it that one time. I spent money. I only lost 20 pounds. I'm not even going to try to do it a second time. But because I was like, you know what, God, I know there is something else out there, and I know that my insurance can cover it. And then lo and behold, look what happened. Zepbound covered it in full, and I am in maintenance, and look at me now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't listen to other people. I don't care what you need to do, as long as it's safe. Whatever your weight loss regimen is, that's your weight loss regimen, and you do what you need to do for yourself. Don't listen to other people telling you that, that you don't need to lose weight. Thank you. But if I don't feel good about myself, then I need to make the changes. And then I also thought about, well, if I lose the 50 pounds, do I really want to be my old self? Because in my early 20s, I was 150 until I had my till I had my second child. And then I just gained so much weight, and I never saw 150 again. until like a few months ago. But I said, no, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the new me, the new version of me. And the new version of me was being at 136 pounds, which I have not been at all in my adult life. So that's the new me. So I challenge you to be the new you. I'm not saying that you need to be 130 pounds. I'm not saying that you need to be 110, but the new you, what does the new you look like? You have to identify that and go for it. Put that as one of your goals and start applying it now. You should be, whatever your future self wants, you should be acting in it right now. So instead of saying I'm trying to be a runner, you need to say I am a runner. If you want to write a book, I'm a soon-to-be author. No, you say that you are the best 100 times selling author in the New York Times. You need to apply it and say what it is and start acting in it as if you are already there or that it is already happening. Well, I just wanted to share that with you while I was just walking, and I'll chat with you later. Goodbye, gorgeous.